Ever since completing my mammoth tour around the coastline of Ireland last year on the 35-year-old little Yamaha 100cc two-stroke, my eyes have been fixed on the North Coast 500, a circular route around the north of Scotland from Inverness to include the east, west and north coasts. However, there are several issues to my challenge. Firstly, I am a 70-something-year-old rotund non-mechanic riding a 35-year-old little bike. Second, while the 500-mile loop itself may present quite a challenge for me and the bike, my biggest problem is actually getting there from my home in the south of England. It's 650 miles just to get to Inverness and another 650 back. Sounds arse shredding to me, and here's a spoiler. It was. Then there was the oil situation. I was unsure whether two-stroke oil would be readily available en route, and I didn't want to go searching for it, so I arranged for Mr. Amazon to deliver it at strategic hotels en route. In the end, I didn't need it all, so posted some of it home, and 1 litre of Yamalube was stolen by one of the most honest-looking of hotel, the thieving bastards. I was fortunate to meet some lovely people en route, some by design and some completely randomly. For instance, on the first day, I rode the bike further than I had ever ridden it before, almost 200 miles. I'd arranged to meet some guys on little bikes in Ashbourne, Derbyshire. Other than being Facebook bike group members, they didn't know each other. Paul led for much of the way before Jody took over. A wonderful route on small roads through the stunning Peak District, finishing in Holmfirth, the town where that unfunny, in my opinion, series The Last of the Summer Wine was filmed. Then the following morning I met Fiona, Andy and friends on their little bikes in beautiful Grassington, and after a coffee we had a fantastic ride through the Yorkshire Dales together, to Aysgarth Falls, which was running dry after weeks without rain. In the next 4 days, my encounters were more random. A motorcycling gunmaker, as well as other characters who were riding around doing the same as me, often meeting them more than once. It was not until the day I left Ullapool when I was accompanied again. Craig, a crofter and motorcycle mechanic from a hamlet called Second Coast, joined me at the hotel at breakfast time and rode with me on his 1964 AJS 250 back to his home through the most spectacular coastal scenery. We were joined en route by John from Poole on his specially imported CT125, and he was generous enough with his time to ride all the way to Applecross. What a great couple of guys. We visited Craig's workshop en route and met his dad and viewed his amazing collection of bikes. Approaching Applecross was quite an ominous moment for me because of the very steep pass ascending east from this coastal village, the Bilac Nabar, or the Path of Cattle. In the end, this challenge for the bike was not as arduous as expected, thank goodness. I hit first gear a couple of times on some hairpin bends. The rest I did in second and third. So I'm climbed up to 2,066 feet in about 25 minutes. After that, it was the 650-mile trip back through Fort William, Dumfries and Preston. I had intended to have a final night in Ludlow, But having had enough of 90-degree bedrooms, I decided to break another record and ride the 202 miles back home from Preston, much of it along absolutely vile urban roads. My next encounter was with friends Steve, Mike and Dave at a pub in Newent, Gloucestershire, who accompanied me home. In the end, the little bike did not miss a beat, and I have mates Steve and Jeff to thank for that. I need not have worried about the engine reliability, seizing on mountain roads, punctures and falling off, or being knocked off. But of course it wasn't just the bike, it was me too. 71-year-old, overweight and unfit bloke. In fairness, and although I had air cushions and a sheepskin between the rather hard seat on my YB and my bottom, even that was not enough. But I found that if I stopped for a shufty every half an hour or so, the most acute symptoms subsided. But my buttocks were still aching a week after my return. I found the most hilarious thing was getting the attention of those guys riding their huge bikes around this usually narrow one-lane winding route. They were on their GS's, Goldwings, Triumph Tigers, etc., festooned with luggage. I love parking the YB right next to them with my minimum luggage for a 12-day ride. Okay, the YB might not be the ideal bike for a ride like that. I was just challenging myself. But a CRF 300 or similar would be so much more suitable for negotiating those roads than a bike that almost had the dimensions of a car. In conclusion, I think I and the bike achieved something few people of our respective sizes and vintages have done. I've done the coast of Ireland, I survived the NC500, so now it's the SW500 I have in mind. A ride around the rural roads of the southwest peninsula to Land's End and back again. Anyone fancy joining me?